welcome to A1R, Insights into Consciousness, my segment every Tuesday at 1:30. I am here today to do a little bit of a reading on some of the world issues that we're having right now and just see what Spirit says about it as of now. Now, we could always have a trajectory of like, this changes or that changes, and then it will regroup and redirect. So remember that any timeline can always be redirected, but that's how powerful our minds are, and that's the power of consciousness. So first of all, I want to let you know that I'm going to do a live reading today on the air, and I'm excited about that. I don't even know who I'm going to get yet. It's always a surprise, and I'm so happy to do that. Also, you can reach me anytime for life direction, life path advice from a psychic. I do readings, I do medium readings, I do life path card readings, anything that you align with, I will do, as long as it's on a high, loving, happy vibe. So you can contact me, Anna Olsen, intuitive.com. That's ANNAOLSEN. intuitive.com. You can reach me on my website, and you can also contact me through Instagram at Tiny Medium Queendom. So that's my Instagram. You can also reach me through TikTok, where I am actually an independent contractor now with TikTok. So I guess I got enough followers. I have, over 10,500 at this point, and it's growing, and I've had more than 1 million views, probably closer to like 2 million at this point, but I am happy to work with you. You can reach me there at AO Intuitive. That's my handle for TikTok, and you can reach me under Anna Olsen. So I also have that link in my Linktree bio, which is on my Facebook page, Anna Olsen Intuitive, or just Anna Olsen, and it's also on my Instagram. And so you can reach me wherever. And I also have a few other links that you can check out under my Linktree. And that is attached to my website, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok. So you won't miss it. It's there somewhere. Anyway, I am happy to announce that I was able to go to a really wonderful memorial for fallen officers this last week at in Sacramento here in California. That's the capital. And I was able to have a nice, intimate moment with these families. Lots of spiritual energy there that was just so heavenly and beautiful and loving and kind. And I was happy to be a part of that and listen to the governor speak. Gavin Newsom, he is definitely supportive of these families who have lost officers who were working to protect our safety and our public peace. So that was a wonderful thing that I was able to take part of, and just wanted to offer my support to all law enforcement officers or anybody in law enforcement who is honestly and like with a good cause, serving and protecting. They don't pay you even almost enough. And I just want you to know that I support you. I think that officers should be millionaires because of what they put on the line and what they sacrifice and what their families sacrifice. So don't forget the families, the spouses, the children who know that every day that their father or spouse, that every time they walk out of that door, that they could not be coming back. So imagine that sort of a risk being so much higher every single day, and living with that concept on the daily, and knowing many officers that have fallen in service. So I just wanted to extend my gratitude, my support to law enforcement officers, all military. I support you. I want you to know that I have your back, and I am here to work with you. I always give a discount to military and to law enforcement families. And that's because I love you and appreciate you very much. And I'm here to also let you know that I support all of these families who have lost and are grieving over fallen officers or military members. So that said, I want to look at some of the world events happening right now. We have had lots and lots of things coming up. The first thing that I want to look at is the pandemic. What was that about? We have so many questions about that. Some people think it was lab-made, man-made, done on purpose. And some people just think, oh, it was just something like the avian flu, and it just happens every so often. And this is what nature does. And I understand both concepts. I think anything could be possible at this point. But basically, I wanted to do a reading on that. I wanted to kind of go through my cards real quick and just ask Spirit, open up that portal, close any of my personal business and shove it in the back so that it's not affecting this reading, and just ask Spirit for the highest and greater good. What was the pandemic about and why did we have it? So the card that I'm getting is the Strength card. And this is a card that I really love, and it really just depicts taming the lion. It's a strength card that depicts having to lay down the law. And the way that I'm seeing this with the epidemic of, the COVID incident and this whole pandemic was that this had to happen. And I'm feeling like it was Gaia, Mother Earth, really having an effect on human beings, and that it's the natural cycle of things, that when things are kind of out of control or getting out of hand, that Mother Earth, the Gaia, will start to rein in the out of control organisms on her Earth. So that's her body. If you think about the Earth having a spirit and there being a holistic view of the Earth, we humans are organisms upon the Earth, upon a body, another body, another spirit. So we know that all plants, animals, humans, and the Earth have life. It can be measured in scientific ways. I won't go into that here now because I don't have time, but we know these are real facts, scientifically proven. So when the, I guess it would be the climate of the Earth gets disrupted, things happen. It's like when we get an infection or we get a virus, things happen to control that overgrowth or that incident or that invasion of whatever it is that could be harming the organism. So the Earth is also a very large organism, and it is holistically fighting off issues. Now, when I asked Spirit what those issues are, what lion needed to be tamed, and we see that this is actually a pregnant woman. This is a pregnant woman taming a lion. I'm seeing that it is actually an energy of higher consciousness, but it's controlling a denser consciousness that was taking over to an extreme, and that people were losing sight of spirituality and what their true purposes were and what they're truly here for. I feel like the pandemic was a wake-up call for the organisms of the Earth, according to Spirit, according to Gaia, as she speaks through Spirit, that these things needed to be controlled to have more of an equilibrium of a balance of higher consciousness. When I talk about higher consciousness and denseness of consciousness, I'm talking about people who are on a brainwave of either a higher positive consciousness, which is the higher consciousness, or a lower, denser consciousness, which is a consciousness that is usually involved in crimes, negativity, harm, abuse, toxicity, if you know what I mean. So it was to balance out some of that toxicity. With how much suffering that came from that, I'm asking Spirit, what does that mean? And the main response that I'm getting is that people had to kind of be pushed into the idea of higher consciousness and spirituality as part of their reality and mortality, so that we can reconsider why we're here and what we're doing here, and to reach out to those in need and to become more isolated in a lot of ways to get closer to Spirit on a subconscious level. Because as we were kind of confined to our homes, we have an automatic survival mechanism that kicks in, that automatically kicks us into being closer to Spirit. When we have people that we know and loved ones around us being, threatened by something like a virus or a pandemic, then, of course, we're going to start to resort to the spiritual part of things and really question what our spiritual beliefs are. And that was really what Gaia, or Mother Earth, wanted to get us back to. So that's really what I'm getting here. So Diane in Laurel, Delaware is on the phone for a reading today. Hi, Diane. How are you? I think we're getting the connection cleared up right now. So we're going to get Diane back, but I am just really happy about the fact that this whole pandemic that we once knew is over. So that is wonderful, because I feel like a lot of us are just reset, and now we are able to go back into the old way of life with an elevated and higher consciousness way of thinking, which is going to be better overall for the earth. Now, the wave of the pandemic is still going to hit us. We know that. That's common knowledge. This is just that, the economy is going to take a hit. We know that. We've already seen the results of that. So that's happening. But we are also going to be able to have more opportunities to not just change our workplaces and the way that we've been doing things for hundreds of years, but also we have the opportunity now to change the family dynamics that we have been really just mostly the world has not been doing as well with the family dynamic and the home environment now for quite some time. So that is going to definitely correct. It's definitely in some uprooted, kind of like the tower card, how things kind of have to fall before they're rebuilt. We are still in that pre-rebuild chapter of this. So understand that the economy is going to take a dive. We know that. We've seen that happening already. Prices are going sky high. And people are really having to reconsider how they, manage their money and things like that. But this is all part of the bigger picture where we're getting the reset. We're resetting money, financial, work, family. People were working like crazy just to keep things, decent with their families. Food banks are getting people in at an all-time high right now in wealthy areas, such as Santa Cruz, California is one of the main ones that I've heard of, where people are really having to get more down to earth and just really start to get to their foundation, their what their ancestors pretty much were dealt as well. And we know that a lot of the government laws that are going through right now can definitely affect us overall. We know that government is trying to get more control and power. So I have Amber in Des Moines on the phone, on the line. Hi, Amber.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What would you like to discuss today, or is there a specific topic that you would like me to look at for you today for your reading?
I was just maybe hoping to hear from my dad.
Oh, yeah, okay. So when did your dad pass?
Last year in January.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
It's very difficult. So is there anything specific that you would like to ask, or you just want to see what comes through?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what came through.
Okay. So I'm getting a presence of definitely a man with a strong presence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So strong presence, very powerful man. I even think he was strong physically.
Mm-hmm.
And did he work a lot with his hands or something like that? Or
yeah.
So what did he do for a living?
He drove and unloaded semi trucks.
Okay, that makes sense, because I see this strength and this definitely a presence of just incredible, not just strength physically, but strength mentally.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that he's really, it's almost like he's really urged to, he has this strong, quick urgency to tell you that when he was here with you, he didn't understand and wasn't taught all of those details about being a dad. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So he wanted to be a certain type of parent, and it was always like he would try, and he just didn't really know how. He didn't have the tools that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
He basically just really is, and I don't want to sound generic because I know he drove. You're saying he's a truck. He did the truck driving and all of that, but he honestly really has a sentiment of wishing that he was there for you more. And that is the main concept that I'm getting for him, that he wishes that he could have with you better. And that he is sorry. He is sorry for any time that he's saying that he was selfish, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
So was there a separation or a divorce with your mother?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's saying he wished that he tried harder there too for you, because he really is, and I'm getting chills right now, so that means that's a strong yes from spirit. So he really wishes that he would have worked harder, and he really wants you to know you're doing great in your current situation. He's saying that just because, and I think it's just a confirmation, you already know that just because you have parents that divorce, it doesn't mean that you can't do relationships. As a matter of fact, a lot of the time that means you can do relationships better because you saw what went wrong and now you can fix those things in the pattern.
Right.
So he's just reiterating how proud of you he is. And he is saying he wishes he understood how kind words to his daughter. He wishes he understood how important it was, because now he can see how important it was, and he just didn't get it. He did his best though. Like I know that, you know, it sounds like I know that there were good things about him, and I know that, but he's really focusing on just letting you know he acknowledges. He wants you to know that he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions?
No, I just wanted to hear from him.
Yeah, now I always ask spirit, I always ask your loved ones for a sign that they can show you that this is really them, they were really talking to me, and that they're with you after your reading. So I love hearing about when the people I do readings for, I love hearing about when they get these signs. So of course there's the trucks, right? I mean, I don't know if you've already been noticing the trucks at the right time in your daily life.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's showing you the trucks, and then he's also, I'm getting the goosebumps again, very definite. And yes, you'll see the trucks at the right time. The other thing that he wants you to watch for is the gold cross. I don't know if that's already of significant value to you in any way.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that significant?
He wore one. He wore a gold cross every day.
Okay.
And I have it.
You
I have it now.
He wants you to know that the gold cross is what he's going to show you when he's with you.
Okay.
When he's communicating with you, you're going to see it when you open a picture on the internet or something, and there's a picture, I don't know, of like the Catholic Church, and there's a gold cross. Or it could be that you see that somebody else is wearing a gold cross at just the right time. You're going to notice gold crosses. And he's going to show you these gold crosses in your daily life to say, hi, honey, I'm here. Remember what I said during the reading? I'm sorry. Remember that I'm sorry, and I understand now. And I'm going to do my best to be with you now as best as I can in not being in his body anymore.
Okay.
That'll be his best effort. So I love hearing your kids, by the way. How old are your kids?
Yeah. 3 and 1.
Oh, that's such a sweet age. And you know, he's really is one of them a boy?
Yeah. I had him a week before my dad passed.
Right. He's acknowledging that he has a connection with that child, and he is also letting you know he's going to protect him. So whatever that means, I'm not sure. I mean, there could be something that's going to come up or whatnot, but he's saying he does have the ability to protect your children, and he's going to protect your children. He's going to be with them. He's going to put the right things in their paths, but he especially has a link or a connection to your son.
Okay.
I think you're going to notice what he's saying is that your son's going to get some of your dad's traits, and you're going to notice some of the same things. And that's one of the ways that your dad is with you as well, is through the inherited genetic traits that your son will possess that are like your father.
Okay.
So that's something else to keep in mind. And he wants you to know that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be really, I know your dad was a very strong man, but he wants you to know that it is okay for you to cry, to be vulnerable, to ask for help, to be softened.
Okay.
You're already experiencing some of that, having your children and understanding the dynamic between parent and child, but he really wants you to know that in your daily life, in your relationships, with your children, all of that, he wants you to remember that it's okay to be very vulnerable and ask for protection from your loved ones. Okay. Because the way it feels to me is that you've always had to be so strong, and you've always had to be so like hardened, like, okay, I can do this. And because you've had to deal with some hard things.
Yeah.
He's saying, you're going to be fine, and you're even going to be better if you can just let it go, be vulnerable and cry, and just go ahead and let your weakness show in the moment, because people need to know that you need them. Apparently your dad never asked. What's that?
What's that? I said, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it seems like your dad, it's kind of the way he was raised. Like, a lot of men, they just don't ask for help. They just don't ask for things because they want to be the one to do it and save everybody.
Yep. Yeah, he was a very proud, I can do it myself.
Yes. And I admire that about him. But, I think that was part of, the health things that went on with him and all of that. It's just, he wants you to have a life filled without worry of health concerns in a life. And he's just telling me that there were a lot of health things going on with him that he never mentioned and that he never told anybody about.
Yeah, I found out after he passed that there was things going on that I didn't know. So.
Yeah. And those weighed on him pretty heavily because he internalized it. And then it just had this more of a stressful effect on him, where then now he was getting more health problems from having more stress from keeping it all in. So he's just like expressing, like, look, it's okay to be weak. It's okay to heal and just be vulnerable and let it out. And I always tell people, when you're crying about losing your loved one and you're crying about something that happened, finish the cry. Don't tell yourself to stop crying. You're going to disrupt that release and that finishing of processing those emotions. So you want to finish off the cry, even if that means you are, like really sobbing or, pissed off or whatever it is. It can really piss you off when you lose people. And it's good to be pissed off. It's also good to cry.
Okay.
So he's letting you know you are a very sensitive person, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. To show it. So I have 3 minutes left. Do you have any other questions for me, for your dad?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay, I'm going to ask him if there's anything else that you need to know. He's handing you a bouquet of flowers, and they look kind of pink to me. They're not carnations, but they're kind of the same roughly not feathers, but roughly petals as a carnation, and they're a bright pink. So he's handing you a bouquet of bright pink flowers, and he's just saying, I wish I would have given you more of this stuff when I was here.
Sorry, nothing. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. He just wants you to watch for the gold crosses, the trucks, and the pink flowers. Those are your 3 signs from your dad.
Okay.
Okay. You watch out for those.
All right.
And notice the timing. Are you having a bad day? Are you needing support? Do you need a reminder that your dad loves you? Do you need a reminder that you're not alone? Do you need a reminder your dad is there? There are a lot of things that you can consider and stop and think about what he's telling you in the moment so that you can really consider the timing. And I think usually when I get signs like this, it's obvious right away. Half the time I'm breaking down crying because it's so obvious that I don't have to even think about it. Yeah. But just notice the synchronicities. I call them revelatory synchronicities. It's a synchronicity of revelation from the other side where they're communicating with us in the only way they can, which is even sometimes lights flickering or going off. I've had that happen actually in the middle of a session with a doctor because a person that we both knew was present, and the doctor was kind of freaked out. But you know, it's really beautiful how they show up. I have to go now, but thank you so much for calling in. It was so nice connecting with you and your father. He's a great man, great strong presence.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. So there was a wonderful connection I made with her father. He's definitely one of those rougher type men who probably, you know, like a lot of men, didn't say what he was feeling as often as he would have liked to now that he sees the bigger picture. And that's just a reminder to all of us here, which is why I love readings, that we need to tell people we love them. When we look at our children and we feel something for them, tell them. If you look at your spouse and you feel something loving towards them, tell them how you're feeling. Any chance that you get, I promise you will not regret it. It will make your life so much better and it will make theirs better. You want to do that because you love them, right? So contact me if you would like to work with me. I'd love to work with you. AnnaOlsenIntuitive.com. And I will see you next week, Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. Have a wonderful week.